What are we talking about?
EV vehicles.
Oh.
Okay, so I'll start. Because fortunately, this wasn't my personal experience. You got all the glory.
I did.
So,
and the mood music.
The mood music.
Mood music.
So we're big supporters of green energy. Most of our family works in green energy capacities, and we like the idea of it. Texas is a really big state.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So, I mean,
to get across it, you're going at least 600 miles.
It is closer to drive from El Paso to California than it is to drive from El Paso to Houston. You can get to California quicker.
Okay, so I love that.
Across the state. So in Texas, at least, and I'm just basing this on Texas, the amount of traveling we do and the amount of gas and everywhere we go, if we leave our little spot, is hundreds of miles to get to the next spot.
Oh, absolutely.
So Connie had the very fortunate experience of this, and we've all looked at these new EV vehicles, the Teslas, the Cadillacs, the things coming out, and great in theory, absolutely great in theory, and hey, we can save some money on gas and leave a good footprint, I suppose. But she was given a new Cadillac Lyriq.
Yeah, they're beautiful. Absolutely beautiful car.
To drive around on loan while her car was in the shop. And you go ahead and describe what that was for you.
First thing, buyer beware when you start the car and put it in gear. It has no transmission, and talk about shocking.
That's weird.
You're like from 0 to 100 now. There's no shifting. So the minute you let off that brake, the car goes. And when you start it, you don't know you started it. So when I got it home and put it in the garage and went out to go get in it again, I just kept hitting the button because I'm used to hearing my car start and all the lights are on. I'm like, what is wrong with this thing? So it was on. No noise. Mood music. It kept playing this weird mood music. I couldn't get it to turn off.
Oh, no.
So I'm driving down the road. It's going, yeah.
Like ambient noise?
Yeah, it's supposed to relax you. So the minute you're off the brake, you're going. So that's one thing I did not like.
That's dangerous.
It's dangerous. So if I'm stopped and waiting to get out into traffic, the minute I let off the brake, I'm gone. So there's no kind of eking your way up there. Right.
Huh.
It's fast. They are fast. Because of the lack of transmission, you don't have to go through gears. I promise you it could take anybody off the line. I didn't test it, but boy, I was tempted when the little hot rod pulled up next to me revving. I thought, you'll get me in the end, but you won't get me off the line.
Off the beginning.
So the only problem that I had with it, now I know Tesla is different because when you buy a Tesla, they install a charging station at your home.
That's the rumor.
It's a rumor. I've yet to find out if that's true or not.
Right.
But they say they do. If you charge this car on your 110 plug,
which it says
to do, it has the adapter. Every time I get out, I have to click the plugger in, plug it in, and plug it into the wall.
Well, I remember you asked the salesman, you said, how do I charge
it?
I don't have a charger at my house.
Right.
And they said,
just plug it in. Okay, so I plugged it in. I plugged it in, and 12 hours later,
yes,
I could go 20 more miles. And I thought, oh, well, this is not going to work.
Okay, so let me tell you guys. She calls me because she's had a day of showings. She's supposed to go out to another town to go show Baird, which is 25 miles away, but it's land, so she's probably looking at a drive of about 40 miles there, 40 miles back, plus the land that's there. She calls me in a panic that I don't know if I'm going to make it. I only have 180 miles on the car, and it was cold.
If it's cold, don't drive it.
So if it was cold, you only get 40% battery power. So the 180 miles, maybe she's got 100 in there
No.
to go. So I said, you're going to have to go charge it at an actual charging station.
Nightmare number 2.
Yes.
In Abilene, Texas, in these electric cars, you push the little thing map and it'll show you where the charging stations are. It told me Nissan has a very slow charging system, and I thought, oh, well, I don't want to sit at Nissan all day. So the dealership told me, oh, they charge really quick. Okay, I found a charging station, but it was 10 miles from here, was the only GM charging station.
In Ty, Texas.
In Ty.
Which is about 10 miles.
10 miles. So I get out there. I have no idea how to do this.
At the truck stop.
At the truck stop. I'm at the Flying J truck stop on the interstate, and I'm sitting there in this EV. I get out, I look at it, I try to put my credit card in, because you got to pay for this. It's not free. Go to put my credit card in, it doesn't do it. Finally, some guy comes up and goes, you have to scan the code. So I scan the code. Not only do I scan the code, I have to download the app, I have to give him my credit card, and then I have to start the thing. What blew my mind was, first, the car will only charge to 85%, so it wouldn't go to 100. 69 cents a kilowatt.
Right.
To charge this car. So I got 40% charge for $27. And I sat there for 40 minutes doing this. And all I could think in my head was, okay, I get it on the EV. I'm like you. Let's try to do something. But I'm watching everybody pull in and fill up and leave. And I probably watched 100 cars do that while I am sitting there eating my truck stop slice of pizza to try to kill time and playing Monopoly Go on my phone.
Right.
Because I literally was there for 40 minutes.
Okay, we know how paranoid I am of like the world, right?
Oh gosh, yes. I can't see you sitting there that long.
Helicoptering the kids, helicoptering myself. I would be terrified, honestly, as a single woman.
Yes.
Without anybody with me. At a truck stop for 40 minutes.
Yes. Sitting in my car.
In my car, hoping.
Hoping it'll charge enough to get me out of there.
And on that, so we just had a whole new Tesla station built at our Target.
Yeah.
There's nothing compatible.
No, their Tesla is not compatible with GM. It has to be a GM charging station.
Yeah. And I do know that if you did purchase one, you can buy the adapter pieces, but that's just another.
I have the adapter pieces. It was all in the trunk. I had this thing all hooked up. Not for Tesla, you can't.
You couldn't do the adapter for
You cannot do an adapter for Tesla. See? It only comes with the GM. So the dealership tells me, well, you could have come charged it here. I go, and what? Sit here for 40 minutes?
Right.
Yeah. That's pretty quick. It's not quick.
So the moral of this story is for over a week, I got to do the showing because I had gas.
2 days I let the car sit in the garage charging.
Yes.
And I still didn't get up to 85%.
No. I had to go pick up keys. I had to do all kinds of stuff because she couldn't go anywhere unless she wanted to drive back out to Ty.
Yeah.
And it came to the point of just give me my car back. We'll figure it out at a later date.
I didn't even let him fix my car. I'm like, just give me my car. I can't do it anymore. Just give it back. I need gasoline. I gotta be able to go places. So they're not bad if you're just using them in town for local and things like that. Tesla, I mean, there's charging stations all over the planet for Tesla. I find it unfortunate that there aren't for the other products.
For the other products, and I think, like I said, I think the idea is really good.
The concept is good.
We don't have the infrastructure for it. There's obviously bugs that'll have to be ironed out of it. I honestly think the hybrid versions.
I love the hybrid because they recharge the battery.
They recharge the battery as you drive, right? So you are using a quarter of the gas.
Not that that means anything.
Charging the battery. But the secondary part of that, because you brought the car to my house, for my husband to drive, and the rattling
in them.
because they're not
They can't be
heavy.
made out of heavy stuff, so they're
Right.
made out of plastic.
It's all plastic.
Yeah.
And
He thought I had a 10-year-old car.
yeah, he came home and he said, "Well, what do you think? Is she crazy?" Because no offense. Connie's still, we're business partners, but she's my mom.
Yeah.
And we know that, sometimes she can be a little critical of things, and we're like, well,
No,
let us give our opinion. No.
No.
He said,
He was more brutal on it than I was.
He was. I said, well, let it go. And he was like, well, number one, the music is really stupid. And then number two, I felt like I was driving a 10-year-old car, if not older, with all the rattling
going on. And that's a shame. This was a brand new lyric.
So then on that, I wonder, what is the safety?
Yeah,
we never researched that.
I haven't, and I don't want to, because I just know that I came out alive and I'm okay.
No,
but
we had the Prius situation with Kenneth's friend. Through and through, Prius let that thing. Was in a really bad accident.
Yeah.
Had it survived.
Dragged by a semi down the highway.
And pushed into the concrete
wall. And he was fine.
The car was totaled, but he was fine. But he swore by it. Like, they went to so many games. And I laughed at these guys. So these are big 6-foot tall guys. And yes, to save money and be economical, they would drive to Oklahoma to go watch the Oklahoma Thunder Spurs play, and it would cost them $6 in gas. So
my thing is too, though, Rachel. Okay, so let's say that I'd have gone, you know what? I am in love with this car. I'm going to keep it. We go to Houston. We're out of electricity by the time we get there, and where we stay and where we've been, I've not seen a charging station.
No, I will say.
So where do you charge? And if you're road tripping with your kids, you get 280 miles, and you got to stop for 40 minutes with your children in the car.
But you only got 40%, so it's longer than 40 minutes.
Right? Yeah, because I still had a little bit left in the battery. Empty. But if you don't have any more battery left, you're going to be there a while. And what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I think there's a need for some infrastructure. I will say, traveling like we do for soccer, the hotels we stay at, generally now we pull up, there's 2 charging ports.
For who?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not sure, because we don't have.
And that's the thing, because it's only going to route you to where, for example, GM products, where the GM charging station is.
Right.
That's how your GPS is going to go. Tesla does the same thing. Their GPS is linked to the charging stations. But I just think that, one, you have to get more than 285 miles to a charge.
In the state of Texas.
In the state of Texas, anywhere.
Right.
Where it's cold climate.
Yeah.
Because those batteries don't like the cold.
Right.
It's just not ready.
Right.
I don't feel that it's ready.
It's not ready yet.
It's not ready. And then you get this Hummer.
Oh, yeah.
And I was told by the dealership, oh, those really run out quick because they're so heavy. What? And I love the commercials taking you up the mountain.
Well, I have to say, when you started talking about the transmission, it immediately took me to my 3-year-old daughter's stage of the Barbie Jeep.
The Barbie Jeep, or the little bug we got her. Yeah, you just go.
Just go and don't let off.
So anyway, that's my 2 cents on it. Is it a bad option if you're just doing local errands and things like that? Probably not. But understand, if you don't have one of these big charging ports, it's a 2-day charge in your garage.
Right. Well, maybe it'll save you some money not shopping for those 2
days. Because you're not going anywhere.
Right.
For sure you're not going anywhere, but they are beautiful cars. I just think it's too early, and that's just my 2 cents. You love them or you hate them.
It'll eventually come around, but there is some work to be done, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, especially in Abilene.
Yeah. The infrastructure
that we don't have that
stuff. We're not small. We're not a small town.
No. You take all our surrounding counties, we probably have 200,000 people floating around.
Oh, yeah.
And I see Teslas.
Yeah.
But I don't see lyrics on the road, and I don't see any other much
Because they're busy charging.
Because they're home charging, and it might be cold, so you don't want to go outside when it's cold. And I happened to use this car when we had our snow snap, and I thought, oh no, because you see the horror stories on Facebook. No, they're true. They're true. They don't like the cold.
That's crazy. Yeah, well, I mean, because it is a battery.
It's a battery.
So, yeah, okay.
So, anyway, that's my 2 cents. Love them or hate them. Leave your comments. We would love to hear your experiences or what you've come across in EV land. But as far as me and my preference, I'm sticking with gas.
Yeah, I would, yeah, I'm going to stick with gas. Obviously, I have a Haas of a car, but I'm not opposed to a hybrid. I just don't think I'm ready for the full EV.
I'm not ready for the full EV.
All
right, well, thanks for listening. We finally got around to it.
Yes.
I am not even going to promise when we're going to come back because we don't know.
Well, we're going to be hopeful that we do it next week. It is part of our own personal growth goals to make sure we're consistent this year. So if you don't see us, give us a nudge.
Give us a nudge and say, hey, I'm waiting on that podcast. What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
We're going to go, oh yeah.
Well,
it's not EV shopping.
Yeah.
That's one thing we're not doing.
Right.
Have a great day, y'all.